Hi, thanks again for joining me today. Today we're going to work on what's called a chop shot. Some people call it a squash shot. I call it a get out of jail free card, but it's a chop shot. And basically what it is on the forehand side. We'll do one on the backhand side some other time, but today it's the forehand side, and I'm going to do it for a couple different angles. And we'll do some slow motion so you can see how the racket actually moves, because a lot of people don't understand what's happening because it's actually changing angles as you hit it. But we're going to work on the ability when the ball's pull wide, either you're on the run, the ball's actually going behind you, different ways to hit that. In short, what it looks like is this. We can hit it closed stance or open. Okay, so if we're here like this and we're reaching out and hitting the ball, we can go like that, and we're going to roll out on that shot like that a lot of times. We can even hit it open stance as we're reaching for the ball that way. Okay. Generally, if we're going to hit the squash shot, we're going to keep moving because we're in trouble when we're hitting it. So we're here like this, and then we're just going to keep moving. Okay. Another way that people aren't quite aware is you can actually hit this with the ball behind you. So as I just turn the grip extremely, when the ball's behind me, I'm going to come down, and I'm going to actually create a little more angle with my wrist and get the ball behind me like that, and then roll out. I can also do it with my right foot leading, and then come through, okay? So we're going to do a little bit of discussion on that, and I'll do it from both sides. But ideally what we're doing is we're actually chopping down like this is a tomahawk or a hammer, and I'm coming down. So my arm's slightly bent. It's not a ground stroke. A big mistake people is they try and scoop the ball. It's not. It's pure wrist action and elbow coming down. You're trying to generate pace as much as you want. You don't have to hit it hard. You can control the speed and everything. But the main thing is the chop down. So the racket is actually like this. And like I said, we'll see it from the side. We're coming down, and it's going to close slightly as you hit the ball. And depending on how much angle you want, it's going to open or it's going to actually close. Generally, if I'm low out here, I'm going to hit, and it's going to close a little bit and then come through. The more angle I need, then I'm going to open up, or the more angle on the contact point, meaning more spin, a little more control, then I'm going to open the face a little bit, okay? So let's look at some side views. As I mentioned, sometimes we'll be running off to the side, and we can hit this like this. We can hit it on the right foot coming out to the side. Okay. We can go backwards closed stance and then through. Or we can go the ball behind us, open stance, and then moving through. Okay. We can also hit these above. So if the ball's out here, we can kind of come down on the ball and hit it. Okay. So if the ball is behind us, we can actually chop down and then we close the face a little bit to get the ball to go down a little bit. This is similar to the shot over the back or over the shoulder. Okay, we're just going to come like that a little bit. Okay, but this is more of a descending blow, and then we're going to go through and hit it. Okay, we're coming around the ball on the outside. This can also be done. This can also be done with a ball on the outside, and we're going to go around it this way. The ball's coming this way, and we can go around the ball. So it's actually going to do that type of angle.
So we're going through the ball. We come through, we hit that ball. Notice the face of the racket. The face of the racket is slightly open. Okay. And then you're going to see it change, and this is what I was mentioning before. You're going to see it change from that angle, okay, going through the ball. It's going to actually flatten out slightly, so it's a slightly different angle, and then it's going to actually fully close. So there's a slight different angle, okay. So that's what I meant by the changing angles. Now as we go through onto the next position, so that was a closed stance. Now we're going to go open stance. So the face is closed significantly like this. We're going to go through, it whips around. Now it's open. Okay. And then I'm going to carve around because I have to catch the ball behind myself. So I'm going to carve around with the wrist a bit. If you can see it, there's a bit of a curve to my wrist here, and trying to get it around the ball. And then now the face is closed. So there's definitely this close to open motion towards the swing. Okay. And then going further, so as we go through now onto, I'll just move on a little quicker here. As we go through the motion, coming back, now I'm going to take this one here and I'm going to move through the ball a little bit. That's just a little more dynamically. Okay. And then as I'm going back, this is going to be something that's behind us. And as we go behind, notice the face is closed again. This is that chop shot. This is that hammer I was talking about. You're going to come around. The face again is going to open almost completely. So what we're doing is recreating this whip. And then that catches now. So this amount of shape right there is important. That's what determines the speed of the ball and the height. And then I'm going to follow through a little bit square. Okay? So generally on a closed stance, we're going to be a little bit more square on the follow through. Okay? And then and we go open stance, so this is really closed with that face. Okay? That means the ball's behind me, generally, if it's open stance. And I'm going to open the face again, and that's just for the whip effect. Come through, now I'm going to really hook around that. Okay? So I've really got to hook around that ball to get it in. That face has got to be significantly open. Okay? And then the last couple I want to show you is as we're coming through the next shot, these shots are as if the ball is past us. Okay? And this one here, I'm going to be a little higher actually. You can actually cut around the ball. So as the ball's right there, my face is completely closed. I'm actually going to, if this were even more shoulder height, I'm going to come around and I'm going to hook the ball on the outside. And that way, so now I'm kind of hitting like this to get the ball to go back into the court. So this is what I call a hook shot, not just the chop shot. I'm not chopping down, but I'm hooking around the outside of the ball. Okay, so I'm going to hit on the outside of the ball over here and so right there, and I'm going to get it to come back into the court. Okay, and this is a hook shot. Okay, so you can do that with balls that are well above you. So that's what it looks like from the side view on those various shots.
So in review, generally on a chop shot is we're in trouble. Don't always have to be, but you can just change the pace up. You'll see people do that. But let's say we're in trouble. The idea is we want to make sure that we're descending on the ball, not scooping. Okay? And as we're doing that, you'll have what you would have seen from the other angles is I'm coming down on the ball. There's a slight angle on the racket. As I hit it, as I'm going down, that creates the contact. And then because my wrist is loose, I'm letting it rotate, or in this case, it'd be pronating slightly this way. Now, if I want to increase the angle, I'm going to have to cut under the ball. If I want to increase the angle and the spin, then I'm going to have to cut under the ball a little bit. But again, my wrist is nice and loose that way. So if I'm going to increase the angle and the spin, it's going to be like that. Less speed, more spin, more control. This one will be a little flatter where you're going to hit. I'm going to close the face and that makes the ball speed up. We discussed this on the backhand slice the other day where I'm closing the face to increase the speed, opening the face to either increase loft or drop shot or things like that. Anyways, hope that's helpful. And thanks again. Bye.